Painted Black, a being of motivation, to do more, to be more, and to have higher expectations. A new standard of us, true representation that we can trust. Standing against discrimination of all, black, white, foreigners, gay, fat, small, insecure, or just lost. Painted Convos is an outlet for voices that aren't out yet. I want to give people a new aspect. I want to create a platform for those who deserve it, but that's not hot yet. Where every perspective is needed for every topic. And although conversations get heated, no one gets mistreated because this is an unjudgmental territory. And there's nothing but respect for everyone's story. Thanks for tuning in to Painted Convos presented by Painted Black.
Hi guys, thanks so much for tuning in to Painted Convos with BB Lawrence. So I'll be doing this episode a little bit differently this time. We'll go down the line to each episode and talk about some of the craziest moments, the funniest moments, some of the most emotional moments, as well as some bloopers. I hope you guys stay tuned. Keep watching Painted Convos. Episode 1 was on being a black woman, where we spoke about everything from discrimination in the workplace, what it's truly like to be a black woman, and in society today, how we are perceived and accepted. I hope you guys enjoy the clips from episode 1 of Being a Black Woman.
We're not saying that it's wrong to use these assistant programs. We're just saying that at this point, sometimes it hinders us. Sometimes we become lazy, but it's definitely well needed. There is families out there that and there's been times where you can watch movies Crooklyn when they didn't want to take food stamps to the store and this and the other, but that's how you ate. And so at the end of the day, yes, it has been a core value, and yes, it has been something that's valuable in the black homes. Like, we can't deny it, but at the end of the day, sometimes we need it, and sometimes we abuse it.
Episode 2 was on dating in the A, where I got perspectives from men and women on what it truly means to date nowadays. What's the guidelines and standards of dating? And it's pretty interesting. I hope you guys enjoy these fascinating clips.
Known to be made out of plastic than to deal with a woman that's natural, then you need to change your environment. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of grown-ass men who are extremely successful, extremely got it together. Please ignore the Cosby sweater. But these brothers are ready and willing to talk to a sister that looks natural. It's usually your scammers, your dope boys, you know what I'm saying? Niggas who ain't gonna be around in the next 5 to 10 years. You know what it is. That are really trying to talk to you. And I'm not trying to be listen, brother, I'm not trying to be no captain. Please listen to what I'm saying. I'm telling you the truth. It just comes as a maturity that comes with it. And to answer your question, when most of it feels like plastic is when it's too much. I've been in a few situations, I'm like, hey, I thought this was real. You know, it's not real. It doesn't move like it's supposed to. It's not real. It's still here. So you know,
Did you still hit it?
Yeah.
You got still right. You still attracted to that video.
Let's be for real. But y'all ain't going nowhere.
Give him a chance to respond. Because let's be real. Let's be real. A lot of women feel like they build their man up. So a lot of women feel like I didn't build him. I'm not about to let nobody else benefit from what I built. So that's why he feels like y'all ain't going nowhere. So y'all have to let him explain. Hold on. Go ahead. He has the floor. You got the floor. Go ahead.
So
you got a minute.
You guys take a lot of these guys who look like shit and you make them amazing people. And then when they start getting, you guys get some of these lames and you start, build them up, they start getting a little bit of attention. Next thing they know, they think they the shit and they start acting out, right?
Don't do it.
Again, Get yourself a complete man. Get yourself a complete man. Don't build a project. You ain't got time for it. That's a grown-ass man.
Episode 3 was the first part of a 2-part series called Black Money Matters. We dove head first into consumer sales, how much buying power we really have, and how much do we actually own in our own neighborhoods. Hope you guys enjoy. Check out the clip.
I feel like it's a lack of knowledge, and also I really feel like it's a lack of ambition. I feel like as a young black man, I just graduated, you know what I'm saying? And when we look on TV, we don't see a lot of black business only being publicized, or we don't see a lot of black men doing a lot of good things. When we look at movies and all that stuff, we see the black guys, the drug dealer, or we see them going to jail, even with being a black young man. I have one family member that is a business owner. You know what I'm saying? One male family member that's a business owner. The rest of them, they either work or they in and out of prison. You know what I'm saying? So that plays on the lack of ambition, because what does that show a young black man? That all the other black men are either criminals or they barely make it. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lack of knowledge, and it's a lack of ambition, because you don't never see that you could do better, that you can own your own business. We always told these, go to school, graduate, and get a job. Our parents never tell us, go get a business degree or go own your own business. You know what I'm saying? So it's both. It's a lack of knowledge and a lack of ambition.
Episode 4, we picked up right where we left off with Black Money Matters. We elaborated on how us as a people can create more businesses and jobs for our communities, as well as better customer service for others.
Or good, you have rap, rap artists that do acknowledge God in their music, so it's not all bad. It's just how you take it as yourself, because some of them, majority of them, you really can't even understand what they're saying, so you're really going on the beat. Oh, that beat is really nice, because I know some of the songs that I hear, you really can't hear, you don't understand most of them. So it's really how you are and how as you are as an individual. You just can't go around here and think that because music says have a fat booty, you go and blow your booty up. That's your choice. So if you want to, everybody can't be a Kim Kardashian or a Nicki Minaj, so don't go out there and follow the music and think because big booty, that's what it's about. Then and as you see, they talk about big booties and then they turn around and talk about fake booties. Oh, that girl got, booty shots now because you done went and blew up your booty because of the music. So stop being a follower in the music. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't gospel, don't follow it. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel like that. The gospel is the truth.
Episode 5's topic was living beyond our means, where people got a true understanding of the difference between an asset and a liability. Hope you guys enjoy the clip.
Statistics shows that in most of the blue-collar states, that all, not even just Black America, but all America is living out, because with the inflation going up and minimum wage not going up, the devastation of middle class, there's no middle class. Either you got it or you ain't got it, and the people who got it ain't spending. So that leave one class left, and that's us. And we already starting out in the rearage. Because if you averaging 2,000 a month, and your bills is 3,000, but we still all got the fresh J's on. We already 1,000 in the hole already. We got the J's on. We got the rims on our whip. Still 1,000 in the hole. So you gotta look at that. So we automatically out the gate are coming out working in the rearage. So the first thing you gotta do is sit down and just figure out which one be your plan of action. Like last week episode, we gotta start trying to build some extra income, because we are already coming out not making enough in the normal household. Not your Rosses, not your P. Diddy's. The average American is struggling.
Dudes, either you buying sex or you attracting sex. Like sex is buying you, basically. And to be completely honest with you, 90% of guys are the ones who are buying sex. Maybe you're not handing a person money for no sex, but what you are doing is not leaning on yourself, but investing in things that will attract women. you're paying for women to have sex with you, or you're paying for a date so that she can hang out, you give you the time of day so you can have sex with her, etc. You know what I'm saying? That's our biggest problem when it comes to money. You know what I mean?
That's real. I still agree with you on that. Episode 6, our topic was nightlife, where we had a pretty diverse panel of bartenders, servers, promoters, DJs, security, you name it. But we also talked about what drives people. Why is it so important to be in the VIP? And how much money do we as a people actually spend in the club? I hope you guys enjoy these clips.
Like finding someone of quality in nightlife could be difficult because you have different people come out. Well, I guess it determines which nightlife, which restaurant or lounge you go to, but you don't find people of quality that you would like to date. It's kind of like a good time kind of feel. Right. So that's it.
Now, I want to challenge that only because it's like we can say the same thing about church. So it's not the space or the building, it's the individuals and the character that you're looking for. So I've met plenty of women who it might have been their first time. Hey, I really don't go out that much. So I don't go into the environment perceiving that every woman that's in the club is promiscuous just because she's hanging out. So every guy in the club doesn't have money or doesn't mean that he's out trying to have sex that night. So for me, I think the nightlife is a release for young people to be able to go out whether they deserve to celebrate or not. So I can't get caught up in judging as to why they're there. Just enjoy yourself. You know what I mean? Because again, you can find your husband, your future baby mama, whatever it is you're searching for, you can find them at Walmart, church, or the club. So go into it with the perceived notion that everybody is there for one agenda. You can kind of short yourself from building some real strong foundation relationships.
As someone that works in nightlife, you work as security, so you have to deal with those interesting conversations when there is a woman and women are free, or you had that ordeal and they're not dressed properly, or they're not dressed as a woman as the grown and sexy that reads on the flyer. Let's say that.
Right.
Okay. And that's not their definition of it. And so we've had issues like that, but go ahead.
I mean, like I said, the way I put it, man, it's simply unfair. Because their whole notion behind that, oh, the men spend the most money, the men do this, it's men's job to do that. Okay, it's also a stud's job to protect. It's also a stud's job to be out there. You know what I'm saying? It's also a stud's job to buy the drinks and pay for dates and stuff. You get what I'm saying?
But why do you feel like it's stud's job?
No. What he's saying is that's the energy that she's taking over.
Okay, so I'm a full-blown lesbian.
Okay.
And my boo is a stud.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, they have a vagina.
Right.
And it doesn't matter. They feel, they dress how they are comfortable.
Right.
But she
don't she look to get in the club free before 12 is the question.
We don't go to the club before 12.
Okay, no, he's saying free. Well, his issue is when a female comes, but she has a male persona, she's looking to get in with women.
Free.
So let me say this.
Right.
Let me say this. Let me say this. So what I'm gonna do is hold on, love. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna generalize the question, because here's the thing. Although it could be free, or it could be a specialty or a given, you get a ticket, you get a free drink, or whatever the case may be. Discrimination can come in different forms. Even if, for instance, we have, like I said, we have somebody that'll come to the door, and it might not be to being free, but they might just say that they're out of dress code. Or they might say, oh, this is sportswear, opposed to, and the girl has on something that I didn't see another girl with some fitted leggings that's just a super fitted, and she's okay to come in, and she got on sportswear. She got on an Adidas tracksuit, that's sportswear. Okay. But you have this lady that comes in that's clothes are dressed a little bit baggier, not fitted, and of course she's a stud. I don't know the proper. I don't want to offend, but okay. So you have to ask, because you don't want to offend. But at the end of the day, those are those awkward situations where a lady, this too, that can offend somebody, or that could be classified as discrimination. And I've seen that. The same could go for men.
All right,
same could go for men. Yes.
A club actually has their own private standards. So as a promoter, yes, I've been at the door where I've not let a woman in based on how she looked in a sweatsuit, but I might let a bad chick in with a sweatsuit, and I have every right to that, because for me it's business. For you, it's all personal. There's a certain image that I'm looking now. I don't discriminate.
Episode 7, culture. In this episode, we learned to differentiate culture and tradition, and how important it is to know your own. I hope you guys can take something from this. Enjoy.
Question, because before we can really understand the word, we must define the word, right? So when we talk about acting black, I seen this Anglo-Saxon young lady on the internet the other day, and they said she was acting black because she was popping her wrists and doing all this stuff and talking real ignorantly. But why is that acting black? Why is that just not being ignorant?
Because that's how they see us as a people now. Our reality shows, our music, this is what we put out to the world. If you want to talk about things that travel faster than anything, it's our music, it's social media, it's those things. And so if that's what we're highlighted and that's what we're doing every time we get the light, they think everybody acts like that.
Right, but then acting white is acting intelligently and properly. We even have to go back to our history and look at the way they used to shape us. When you looked at African Americans, everything was dark. When you said black, we were rapists. We were all these different demonic and demonstrative things. But when you said white, everything was right. So I think we have to understand our history and where we came from. And I love the fact Bro talked about history earlier. Just to take like 20 seconds. Before we can move forward, we must understand where we came from. We were enslaved for 300 to 400 years, right? We got free in 1835, 1865, and then came another period where we had to fight against Jim Crow laws. That didn't end until about 1965? So we've only strategically been free for about 50 to 60 years? So this is clearly one of the only generations that is really growing up in true freedom. So we have to understand our history before we can move forward. I think that's why we're also as separated as people, because we have been pulled from our own culture. We don't even know what our own culture is.
I just want to say something.
Episode 8, Discrimination for All. In this episode, we covered everything from the right to protest to police brutality.
Interesting. You have something?
Well, this situation, just as with other situations in the past, is just a matter of just the U.S. trying to force their hand on people who are not willing to carry out their beliefs and their visions with things. It's like we always want to go overseas and put our, property on somebody else's soil. And then when they, reject us for it, now we want to go into conflict. And, he offered, I think it's called diplomacy, I believe is what it's called. He offered a diplomacy to them recently, and they rejected it. And I don't blame them. We've been trying to bully them for months now. So, I understand.
All right, so then my question is, if you take Obama, who's been in office for 8 years, again, if you're about resolution, then it's not about being right. It's about doing what's for the grand scheme, a bigger picture. So whether Korea or America is right, it seems no one is battling for the resolution as to, okay, you know what, we may not agree, but going to war definitely isn't the answer. So,
all right, episode 9, Sex, Drugs, and Lies. This episode has to be one of the wildest episodes. You can tell by the name, but it's very informative, and I hope you guys can take something from it. Enjoy the clips.
I'm a pretty open person. I'm an open book. I put all my business out on Facebook. Is like my diary. Like my whole Facebook is my family. Everybody on Facebook. It
definitely is, y'all.
If you knew the things that I talk about on Facebook. So I went to California back in February, and I went to a club. I was out with one girl that I knew, her girlfriend, and a group of strangers. This one guy, we got into the club. He offered everybody coke. Like, we were in the middle of the dance floor. It was like, hey, he just pulled it out of his little necklace. Pulled it out and was like, hey, you want a bump? And I was like, excuse me? And I actually wanted to say yes, but everybody that was around me, I was like, no. And I saw everybody else turn it down, but one guy, he got it and he was wired up. I was like, okay. So I went home and I told everybody about the experience, and he was like, I'm happy you didn't try it. I'm happy you didn't try it. It'll ruin your life. I told one of my closest friends here in Georgia about it. She's like, oh my gosh, I'm happy you didn't try it either. So 2 months ago, I was leaving a club and I was with a new girl. We were hanging out and we go back to his place. He got coke. I was like, whoa, I knew no one here. I was like, this is another opportunity for me to try it. I knew in my mind I was going to try it. So I tried it, and I told her. The moment I told her I tried it, we had just started a business relationship. She's an artist, and she wanted me to manage her. The moment I put on Facebook that I tried coke, she texted me. She sent me a book and said, you will no longer be associated with my career. And I said, thanks.
Thank you guys for tuning in to Painted Convos episode 10. This is actually the conclusion for my first season. I hope you all enjoyed the show. Please don't forget to continue to check me out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at painted_BLAQ. You can also watch my full episodes on YouTube at Painted Convos. I hope to see or hear from you all soon.